topic. Pretty much the theory, the principle of the 12 links of dependent origination. It's not like it has 12 links in the beginning. It started with, the hypothesis started with like 6 links or 5 links, and then continue to add more, and right now the most well accepted is 12 links. Basically this cycle is trying to explain how our life continue and how our karma accumulated, and it can refer to our whole life, like life after life, and also can apply to our thought after thought after thought. If our mind are clear and subtle enough that we can observe our every thought rise and down, and keep accumulating. Just like, I think I read a book from Dalai Lama about depression. So the mechanism for the depression is, so I have a negative thought, like I don't like, I hate this, and I hate this, right? So when we come up an idea of I hate you, and then the brain has done something, it built up a circuitry of I hate you. And if you keep repeating. So for ordinary people, in the beginning, when we get angry, angry is energy cost. So usually we get angry and we get tired, and then and then it's gone. Or sometimes you see it again, you get angry, and then you get tired and it's gone. But if it keep repeating, like repeat the same circuitry again and again and again, then when it become more frequent, so somehow the brain will get used to this circuitry, and then when you initiate just like the scenario, and the whole circuitry kind of complete the path. And so every one of us, more or less, we have depression because we have something, life issue that we don't like. We are not satisfied with the condition and the situation we encounter. So when that happens, when we think of that, then our brain goes through once again and again and again. So at some point, I think when the doctor will say, okay, you have depression, probably the circuitry is already developed, become a regular path. And I think, so for the one who need to take medicine, means the doctor need to give you some drug to block the pathway, block the circuitry. Unfortunately, the drug cannot go to like that specific circuitry. It blocks the area. And so some people don't like take the medicine because you get retarded. Everything slows down and you get a negative side effect because the drug cannot specifically block that circuitry. It blocks the whole area. But anyway, then that's when the depression become the so-called like permanent. Like you cannot stop it. Like usually when we have angry or negative thought, sometimes you listen to the music, sometimes you can have a walk, sunshine, and then it will go away easily. But for them, it's not that easy. And so that's because in the past, the scientists believe that the brain cells cannot regenerate. Okay, right now the study showed that actually our brain cells can regenerate. It has the I forgot the term, the ability to regenerate. So there is one way to help the depression people is to exercise, walk. So you kind of force your brain to regenerate and bypass that circuitry of depression and reconnect, rewire your brain, that kind of things. But I think it's under it's many years, 10 years already, that a whole bunch of scientists to try to study this brain things and related to depression. So what I'm trying to tell you is the 12 links of dependent origination is like a circuitry of us to accumulate karma and karma and karma. If we keep repeating, if we keep the same karma, same habit, and it will keep accumulating, and it become part of us. Sometimes we can call it personality, or temper, or something, and sometimes just become you. Today I will explain a little bit about 12 link of dependent origination. If you are interested in this topic, I believe that you can find books or YouTube. There are more deeper teaching or longer teaching that you can listen to. Okay, so that's back to the karma. Before we get to the topic, is when we talk about karma, means it will has the causes and consequence. Okay, and in between there's a condition. So when we talk about the karmic force, we have to know what is the causes and what is the conditions for this karma to proceed to the consequences, which is our retribution of karma. Okay, so the causes and conditions are very complicated. In Buddhist point of view, for example, you kill someone, very strong karma. The problem is why and how, in what condition you kill that person is very important. Okay, if you are a soldier, your responsibility is to protect this country, and there is a war. Yes, you have to take the gun, you have to take the knife, you have to do whatever to kill the enemy, right? Yes, there is a karma for killing, but this killing, the causes and conditions are very different from someone who also kill people, but it's based on, okay, you are the soldier, you follow the order to kill, and the other is, I'm the commander, I'm the one who gives the order to kill, the commander, like, okay, go kill. And based on what reason? If I'm the commander because somebody, some country, do something hurt about this country, and so from the analysis, the thorough analysis, this is the last step we have to take, and I give the command. But if you make this decision based on, okay, this is the easiest, fast way, I don't like negotiation. I don't like, communication. Let's just fight. Well, I'm sure nowadays in democratic country, it's kind of last possible for someone to do it that way. But in ancient time, like in China or in ancient time, that the king, he got angry and then he give the order to kill. Okay, even the general, the same way. The most famous one is that 赤壁之战. There is a big wall between two little countries. It is because of a woman. I think if I read the history right,
Heron of Troy.
the general liked the woman in other area, and then she wanted to have that woman, so he initiated a war, and then have a fight. And the cause of the condition is so different. You are the commander in whatever the position you are, but the problem is why you want to give the order to kill. Okay, for the soldier, they just follow the order. They don't know what happened, what's in your mind. But definitely the commander will give a very, very inspiring, very good reason that, we should go, we should fight. So this is, we have to know. And also, even for a people, nobody. And then suddenly in the subway, a boy take the knife and start to kill people. I'm not sure if US have this happen. Like something, and then he starts to randomly kill people. And obviously, those victims, the families suffer. No reason. And my family was killed by someone for no reason, and I lost my loved one. It's very painful. So people will blame that killer for sure. And also blame the family. That why you have the kid like this, right? So in Taiwan, there's many years ago, there's a case like this. That I think is a college boy or something. Then he just, in the subway, suddenly pull out a knife and kill a couple people, like a dozen people. It's a big social news in Taiwan. And this year, when a veteran come to our family camp, she shared a documentary movie about this crime. And in this crime, the attorney who defends for the killer tried to tell the story. So I think this is a true story. So this attorney, he volunteered to defend for the killer. The young man that most of the people in Taiwan just blame him. How can you do this? And then blame the family, the parents, the sister, that how can your brother do this? When the attorney volunteered to defend for the killer, his wife, who is a very successful businesswoman, wealthy woman, they have 2 kids, she cannot take it. She said that, why you want to do this? Why you want to do this? And not just that she has the pressure from people who know her. And also, all the people who know the attorney blame him. Like, are you crazy? Are you insane? Why you want to do that? They will not give you any money. And so the attorney told his wife, you come from a wealthy family. You don't know what kind of suffering, what kind of problem the people under the society, on the basis of the society. I believe there is a good reason why these kids will do this. And we have to find out the reason in order to help him and in order to help the society that it will not happen again. from another kid to other more people. We have to find the reason. We have to find the causes. So he finally convinced many people, and he also contacted the killer. And the killer refused to say anything to anyone why he did that. And eventually, through a long process, the attorney finally convinced the killer that he is willing to talk to the attorney. At the moment, for some reason, our justice department or something, in a very fast process, execute this killer. Okay, so I don't know about the law, but the title of this documentary film is the distance between us and the evil. 我们与恶的距离. So who is the evil? The killer? The society? The government? This is an open question. That's what the documentary film is all about. When we handle things, when we have a karma, we have to know the causes and conditions in order to help, in order to forgive. Okay? Now, this is the karma. And the karma has the consequence, which will appear in our retribution of karma. Or that's the name, retribution of the karma. That means two parts, the body and mind, and the environment. This environment.
Hi, Patty, how are you?
So, when we have this karma, and then we're reborn, if specifically in the sutra, that if we have a strong karma from killing specifically, usually you probably will not have long life, short life, or you get sick all the time. Okay, so that I have to clarify. Usually when we talk about causes and consequences, we usually will interpret it in a way that, okay, somebody steal my money. Then we will say, comfort someone, okay, no problem, because probably you owe that person money in the past life, or maybe you steal money from that person in the past life, and now you pay it back, right? So somebody will say, when we talk about karma, means like, okay, something you have done wrong in the past, and now you have to pay it back. In a way, how you commit this karma, commit this crime. But this is partially true. Usually, it depends, of course, it depends on the cause and the condition, how you commit this killing. But anyway, for retribution, okay, the body and mind, we can examine our whole life. Our body, somebody just healthy, healthy all the time, very strong. They only sleep a couple hours. They're energized. They can do things very quick. They are very powerful. Strength. And some are just really weak. Weak bone and get sick all the time, and very. And it's all about the karma that brings you have this kind of body, and also the mind. I explained quite a bit in the morning, why we have this kind of personality, why you are so jealousy, and why you hate why you hate people that often, and why you do this, why you have so much emotion on everything. And this is about the mind state. And why you are so weak. People attack you, and you got hit. Nobody can hit you, like attack you emotionally. You take it to hit yourself. Usually we don't think it that way. You scold at me, you say something, you set me up. Most people get angry, me too. But if that person says something that is not true, why we get angry? Because we think that other people believe them. And because we think that our loyalty, our integrities are hurt or something. So we get angry. But some people are just like, okay, whatever you say. I didn't do wrong. But if I did something wrong, then I repent, I will change. But if I didn't do anything wrong, whatever you say, I don't care. Just like, we talk about Trump all the time in New York. Trump. Like trauma for us. But the problem is, does he really wrong? Does he really do the wrong thing or wrong decision? It's not we cannot actually understand. We cannot see what he see. We cannot think what he think. The problem is, for me, he's a person. Well, he get angry very fast. But if you want to be a top leader, you can have your temper, but one quality you definitely have to have is you have to know how to handle criticism from the big crowd or from the world. All the criticism come, no matter what decision you made. Some people won't like it. Some people will take the benefit out of it. Probably you lose some of your benefit because of this decision or policy. So never, even a king, a president, no one can satisfy anyone. So he can only look at the big picture and make the decision for the majority. But people still complain, right? And so no matter who or how that president does, he needs to have the ability to handle all the criticism, or even the big mouth or slander or something that people complain them, which might not be true. You have the ability to handle that. Okay, keep your bone tied up and then still keep going. But anyway, this is our mind. And for some people who have this strong will, strong mind, it's also from their karma. Why you are so weak, you beat up by other people. They are bullied in the internet, and people commit suicide. It's very hard because in the internet, go all over the place. This kind of bullying is really terrible, right? But we need to educate our children, next generation, young generation, how to handle that. Because it might happen all the time, okay? And how about the environment? Why you were born in America? I was born in Taiwan, in China, in Asia. When I was young, American is a dream country. It is for Taiwanese people. And everybody talk about go to the US, That is America. America in Chinese mean 美国, beautiful country. Beautiful country, 美国. So everybody thinks that, oh, it's so privileged if someone can study abroad, get an admission to some university here, can stay here, work here. Seems like your life is upgraded here, automatically upgraded when you come to US. And because back to like maybe 40, 50 years ago, that China just have a civil war and then all kinds of war and then all kinds of some revolution, something. Cultural revolution. So people there are in chaos, no hope, no future, no money, and just like fighting all the time. And so everybody feel like we should go to America. We should go to America. And so at that time, and why some people can go to America or be born in America, and why we have to stay in Asia? We were born in Asia as a Chinese, discrimination, all that. The environment. Of course, if you're living in a developed country, you receive better education. You have so many good education system here. And so many good, social welfare, medical system, everything developed, well established. So people here have a better life than Asia or Africa or even South America. So this is also, where you were born, also is the retribution of the karma. So when we talk about, you have good retribution karma, sometimes it will either refer to your body and mind or your living environment or both. Okay. But the problem is, can we change? Can we change? Before we want to make change, we need to know what is the mechanism of this karmic force. Okay, I hope you can see it in some way. So once we have karma, when our mind is not pure, we have ignorance here. And the ignorance, because we are ignorant, so our mind is ever moving. So like if you read Heart Sutra or some other sutra, when Buddha talk about enlightened state, you will often hear the unmoving mind. 不动的心，如如不动。Unmoving as such, so something like that. So the unmoving mind is not like you are freeze. Your thought is freeze, no thought at all. No. The unmoving mind is a very profound term that it's an enlightened state. That the mind, you can do whatever needed. But your mind is not affected, and your mind is not vexed by anything. So the unmoving mind is, your mind is very clear. You can still do things, but the state of the mind is not moving. It's very hard to explain. But anyway, once we have ignorance, then our mind will not be in a moved state. It's ever moving. It's called volition formation. Once our mind moves, then it depends on the force of your our ignorance or karma, the mind move and the consciousness come into play. So the databases start to come out. And then the consciousness, that's when we were born. This consciousness entered into mother's body, and then we will have the ability to have name and form. That is, have the subjective discrimination. Okay, so in other words, if I want to describe a cop, I need some term to describe. Even cop is a symbol, is a name. Okay, and I say I have a black bag. Then there is so many symbols there. I have. What does it mean to have? Black color, bag. You know, there are so many name and form here. And then our sixth sense organs develop. And once the sixth organ developed, we have the detector of the mind and to contact with the environment. For example, I have eye, I can see you. I can see windows, I can see the sky. Right? So contact. And then I have a feeling, and I will have a feeling about I like it, I don't like it, or just neutral. Right? If I have to see you, I have to see everyone equally, then I can, if someone I like there, I'll keep looking at him. Then my mind attached to that person. So the feeling is very like, I like you, I like this, I don't like this, and it's neutral. For example, when I look at window, because I want to look out, so I look through the window. So I don't like or I don't like. But when I want to look out, and I find out that, the window, the design of the window is so good, and I especially pay attention to the window. That means I like it. If I see someone, then I immediately, turn my head away because I don't like that person. I don't want to have an eye contact with that person. Then you will turn away. So you have a feeling, a sensation, like I like or I don't like, or just like okay, nothing happened. And once we have a feeling, we have like, I don't like, and neutral, then it's very possible that we have a craving to have or craving to leave, craving to have or craving to let go or throw it away. This is for the more extreme class, that sometimes I like this window, and I'm always thinking, maybe, in the chant center, I can have this window. Then I have the intention, right? Then look, this is really, really good. I just want to have this window in New York. And I go back and say, okay, architect, I want to change the design. People are like, 3 lines, change again. Because I'm craving for this kind of design. I want this. I take the price, go through all the application, change your permit and all that, because I want this window. Okay? And also craving to leave is like, I hate you, can't you not come? Just like in the morning, like, who is the chef? That lady, okay, can I change to next time? Because the lady is so terrible. She has a good skill and she's a good cook, but she has a bad temper, If you help her, you get scolded all the time, throughout the cooking. So you were like, no. You have that. Once you take the action, that means you grasp. Okay. I really like, right? If I do take the action like I did, like I say, I go to the architect, say, change the design. I take action. Okay? And if you say, I don't want to cook with him, her. And then you take action, tell Fa Shi, say, please change my assignment with her. Or you just directly go to that person and say, I don't want to work with you. This is called, you take action. It's called grasping, means take action. And then forming means then the karma form. If you're just thinking about it, and you have not taken action, this karma is lessened. Unless, for example, I want to kill you, you have a thought all the time, but you never take action. You only generate bad thought in your mind. That's okay. Okay, it's acceptable, but go killing people is not acceptable. So the forming, it means then once you take the actions, the karma form. And once the karma form, it will store again to this ignorance. You strengthen this ignorance, and then it continue again. Okay? And when we continue, we have to go through the life and death, the cycle of life and death, and life and death. Okay? So this is the 12 links of dependent origination. So these two or these three belongs to the past. This is the past causes for this to happen. And then this is the present causes for this next life to happen. Okay? So this is called double causes and consequence for this cycle. And now, what should we do? Okay. The life and death issue. And so I will break up this cycle into different parts to explain. So right now, the ignorance, it's just like we are not awakening, we are not enlightenment, that's why we have ignorance. And I explained that why we have volition formation, because our mind is ever changing. We cannot get into the unmoving state. And I briefly explained the consciousness in this morning, 8 consciousness. Now, there is a sutra called the Filial Piety Sutra. If you are interested, I think there is an English version. This sutra is Buddha speak about the deep kindness of parents and the difficulty in repaying it. Okay, that's the purpose of this sutra. And in this sutra, Buddha specifically explain why, especially mother, is we cannot thank her enough, by explain how we develop in mother's womb. Okay, this is very good, very correlated to our scientific data. That it's amazing that we have this explained back in 2,500 plus years ago. That Buddha told Ananda, the fetus growth in mother's womb for 10 lunar months. 1 lunar month is 28 days. Okay, so it's about like 9 months plus in the Western calendar. So the first month of pregnancy, the life of fetus is as just like a dew drop on grass. when in the morning you see the grass, there is a drop of water. It's just like that, a small, very small. I think it's federation of sperm and egg from father and mother. And the second month, the embryo congeal like a curd. And the third month, just like coagulate blood. It's like a coagulate blood. So for the first three lunar months, usually for Chinese culture, they won't tell people they are pregnant. Because in these 3 months, it's easy to have miscarriage. Okay? Because it's so small. And if you don't know and you do extreme exercise or something, just like easy to have miscarriage. And also, this is when people make decision about abortion, to abort. Okay, so here, yesterday I mentioned that too, and for all the religions, we all face the same question that people will raise to all the religious people, do you agree? Do you support abortion? Something like that. And I think Catholic society have this big issue as well. And for all the religions, basically no killing, basically based on the compassion, based on loving people equally. Usually abortion is not that supported based on the Bible or based on the sutra. But here, I want to share you a story between one disciple and our late master, Shen Yan. Okay, so also people will ask this tough question to our Shifu, our master. So he directly asked our master, do you agree, do you support abortion? Okay, so nobody will answer yes or no, because this is too unwise to answer in such a clear-cut way. Okay, so our master only replied. He said that, do you know how precious it is, how hard it is to be born as a human? We talk about the sixth realm this morning, right? We have different karma. After we die, we might go to somewhere. Depends on what kinds of karma, right? Right. And there is a sutra talk about, you don't think that it's very easy to become a human, be born in the human realm. It's very difficult. And so he just simply answered, do you know how precious and how difficult it is to be born as a human? And this being has been waiting for such a long time to be born as a human. And only because he doesn't have good karma, that's why he was born. Maybe, okay, for those who decided to abort, has many good reasons, and we accept that. Just because this being may not have a good karma, so he might have some genetic disease. She might have, how to say that, disabled, or from the scan, the baby doesn't look right when he comes to this world. He might have many problems, and we have all kinds of excuses to support the decision. But there is no clear answer. But just it depends on the mother. And then you think, if you understand how precious it is and how difficult to be born as a human, then it's a good merit for you to receive the being to this world and take good care of it. This is a good merit. And oftentimes, when this kind of baby comes to this world, actually, it doesn't mean that it will bring a burden to this society. If we look at the other way around, this kind of people can remind us to be compassionate. You know, we are so busy working, we're so busy competing, we're so busy making money, handle things, buying house, buying car, career, all kinds of things. Don't forget compassion. You know, when the disaster happened, that's the time to remind us to do the charity, to help people. So anyway, from Buddhist principle, the consciousness of the being enter into the womb already in the very early month, probably the first month already. The consciousness enter already. So basically, in the first 3 months, if we abort the child, baby, means we take away their chance to live. Okay? And the fourth month is more related to our 12 weeks. Fourth month, the fetus begins to assume a slightly human form. So you can see the tendency of the fetus that this might become head, this might become legs and hand. And during the 5th month, the child's 5 lines, 2 legs, 2 arms, and head start to take place. You can see from the scan that, oh, this is a head, this is legs and hand. In the 6 months, the child begins to develop the senses of the accesses of the 6th sense faculty. That's what in the 12 links that we developed the 6 organs. In other words, in 6 months, the baby has mind action. Some mother like to talk to the baby, or play the music, or do something, you know, and the baby will respond. Patty say, oh no, this is about the next stage. Or they will kick, you know, they don't like things, they will kick, or they will respond to mother or environment by their body actions. And during the 6th month, the 306 bones and joints are formed, and the 84,000 hair pores are also complete. Basically, the hair starts to grow, the bones get in the positions, and basically this is a baby already. And in the 8th month, the intellect and the 9th apertures are formed. Okay, so basically 7th, 8th, so some of the baby can early deliver. So these are the stages. And the 9th and 10th, this is very interesting. The fetus learns to assimilate the different nutrition of the food it eats. For example, it can assimilate the essence of peaches, pears, certain plant roots, and the 5 kinds of grain. Okay, so obviously the baby has preference already in mother's body before they were born out. So some mother told me that their baby like pizza. the pizza on tomato. So mother will suddenly like to eat tomato, and the baby was born to like tomato. Yeah, Kimberly. Okay, so I know some cases. One mother, when he's pregnant, he cannot eat meat.
How about bananas?
Banana. Told my mom, don't eat banana. Don't feed me banana or something. So they start to have a sensation about the food or something. In the 10 months, basically the baby is complete and ready to be born. Okay, so Buddha has already explained, did not explain how the consciousness enter into the body, but how the name and form and 6 sense organs got developed. It's already explained. And once you were born, actually in the body you also have contact and feeling already through mother. For example, food. They cannot contact the outside environment, but they can contact food through mother. And so they have like or dislike already, even in the womb. And then we have the craving. I don't know. Do you still love to eat sugar? I know all the baby, I don't know why they're craving for sugar. Ice cream or chocolate. You know,
Because it's delicious.
I know it's delicious, but see, when we grow up, then we start to, we can, donuts, okay, maybe half or 1/4. Maybe it's because of the health issue, so we kind of like control ourselves. And the kids just because we have family camp. Every time we bring out ice cream, they just scream. They want more. And chocolate, and candy, all that. But now it's like mother, control their consumption of the sugar. So it's like sometimes it's mother, don't give them ice cream. But see, they're craving for ice cream. They love sugar. But the mother will stop them. And so, but anyway, so if I did that before, my mother won't buy candy for me. So I go take her money. I remember I go take her money and go buy candy. Because I'm so craving for the candy, and my mom won't give me candy. So the action I took was I just take money from my mother's purse, take money, and go buy candy, right? So I have craving, and I take action, and the karma form, I steal my mother's money to buy candy.
Because you saw the same as candy. The money is the same as candy.
I didn't think that much. I was just like, why you don't buy candy for me? And then I just take the money to buy the candy by myself. But anyway, that's kid, a couple dollars for candy. But how about in the grown-up society? What is that called? Bank robbery? Or something, now it's a high intelligence staff through the internet or something. So then people, they want money, they want a lot of money, but they cannot make such kind of money. So the way they pick is like, I took it from my mother's purse, but they took it directly from the bank, right? Or do something. It becomes stealing, okay? And also, this stealing happen, you probably hear a lot of like so-called stealing idea. May not be that significant in ordinary career, but it's very, very significant, especially in technology career. You know, you have an idea. If you tell someone, they can do faster than you. Like we, actually, sometimes I feel like being a scientist in academic area, professional. We will share, we go to conference, we report our result. At the same time, we have to protect ourselves. Don't tell them the first data. You tell them only when you're going to get your paper published. Because other competed lab, if you see, even if you are at UCLA, okay, it's a good school, but they are at Harvard, you know, they have more resources. If you are in a competed lab and you have some idea, and they take it and they do it faster than you, they publish the paper, then your paper becomes junk. So competitive, and also this academic is still okay. No, you know, you're okay. You stay in school for a couple years longer, and you find another topic. You publish another paper, and you got graduate. But in industry, so that's why people need to have patent filed. Because I had this idea. If I don't patent it, people can take the recipe and do it. And you will not make money, right? So in this competed world, a lot of things that if you don't protect yourself, and if people intentionally steal your idea, it's a bad thing. It happens all the time. And sometimes the boss will steal employee, the credit. Somebody do the major contribution to this project, but the boss take the credit and it got something award or something, right? And so this is also because why the boss or the manager is doing that? It take the employee's credit.
Craving.
They are
Craving
in this
the fame.
position. They get big salary. Don't they have a pressure to have 业绩怎么讲? Performance. Right? And the easy way is to take it from your people, work for you. So, but anyway, because you're craving so promotion or craving for performance so much, that you make this decision and you take these actions, and so this karma is built. Okay, you can you can on and on try. You reflect in our daily life that the feeling, the craving, and the grasping it's happening every day. And how about rebirth? We talk about this in the morning. That if we commit, we have accumulated a certain karma, and the moment where we die, and then this specific karma will bring you to the certain realm. Okay? So the most important thing is, of course, in our daily life, we try hard to accumulate more good karmas, so that the manifestation of certain karma will come out in higher chance. Okay, but now is how to change our karma. how to change your life. Do you think you do something to change your life, or you're just following your karma?
So just following.
Be aware of it.
Meditation.
Be aware of it.
Meditation. Okay, good point. How meditation can change our karma? You sit there so comfortable, peace and quiet. But when you go out, same thing happen.
There's a way meditation can help you. If you enjoy meditation, you crave
long
less. I mean, you can crave other things less. That's a one way. It's not a total way. That's one way.
At least you don't do any bad deed when you are doing the meditation. That's what he meant.
No, not just that. Not just that.
Just that.
You haven't totally get rid of all the craving. At least if you crave for the peace and quiet of meditation, you would be less likely to be attracted to something else, like other type of entertainments or other type of material things.
If you really
Yeah.
enjoy meditation.
And this part is not the ultimate solution, but at least it's a way. It's a way to lead to a better
Another
situation.
entertainment to choose.
You keep the habit of craving.
Yeah, in a sense, that's called 禅悦为师. I'm trying to explain that.
Okay. When I think back, the way the journey that I choose to leave home and to be, instead of being a scientist, I choose to be a monastic. The decision process and the journey I have been walking through till now, I have to admit that I have a good causes and I have a good karma. Because if the sequence run in a different way, then I will not be who I am right now. For example, I'm not a religious people, kind of. Like everything in Taiwan, I never touch any religion. And I study Buddhism in the US. And then when I get to know Shifu, our master, I still don't know much about the religion of Buddhism. I read some sutra, but I don't know about the religion thing. And after 2 or 3 retreats, I think accidentally, I have some very special experience about my body. So I feel like, oh, this is not taught in the textbook. Because I'm a biochemist, so I know something about biology, brain, and physiology and all that. But this is so strange. Like, it's not taught in the textbook. Why it would happen? And the question is, what is the mind? We never talk about the mind. We talk about emotion, psychology. But what is the mind? This mind, without the body, we still exist. And what is the mind? Okay, so if your mind enter into a certain stage, and if you're so curious about, this is really not academic things, and this is not a religious thing. This is just a very, very direct question to myself. And since I'm a professional people, I would like to do things full time. So then I start to think, maybe it's not a bad idea to be a full-time practitioner to get this question straight out. What is the mind? What is emptiness? what are you talking about? Master, during the retreat, you talk about mind, you talk about endless, you talk about this and that. But then I can feel like, yeah, I think so. If this is true, then this will be true. This got to be true. But the problem is, how do I know? I need evidence as well. I need to prove it as well. So I just tell myself, probably if I become a full-time practitioner, I can get enlightened. I can see the emptiness very fast. Well, this is the wrong intention, okay, to become a monk. But I just feel like I should do it, otherwise I won't know the answer. And I want to know the answer. I want to see the answer. So then I decided, okay, I want to become a nun, And then I just want to become a nun. That's it. I want to practice. So I didn't think that much about religion, like ritual thing, chanting things, and in a big religious organization, bureaucracy and all that. I didn't think of that, So I just people say that you make your decision blindly without knowing what you are getting to, and just don't get into it. And of course, after I become a nun, and then I have difficulty adjust the monastic life just because it's so different. The value, the rules, the way people make decisions so different from the ordinary life. And sometimes I feel like, I was educated that way to become a successful person. And now all the education, all the ability I established become a weak point in the Sangha. For example, you're so confident about what you're talking about. You gotta be confident, right? Then you become not humble enough. Oh, maybe you cannot say, it is. No, it may be something, So, and then you have to be independent thinking in the monastic. It become very strange. I become a very strange person because I'm too independent. So everything I have my own idea. I have my own idea. I have my way to do things, handle things, and it become like, why you're not harmonized with people? And the problem is, okay, in my academic training, right? Everybody is the same educational background, same knowledge. So you would collaborate, no problem. But right now you have to collaborate with people from different educational background, different value, different everything. You have to work together. And I just shake my head all the time. And then but anyway, what I'm trying to say is, when I get to this point, I know that I need to make change. In the beginning, I thought that I practiced very hard, that I can get to what I want. But it's not now. It's about 18 years now. Then I realized that if I want to get to my goal, the first thing I need to do is change myself, change my karma. I have a good karma that I resonate with Buddhist and meditation. But I don't have a good karma in change myself, because I'm so confident about myself. So I don't think of that. I need to make change. But now I feel like I need to make change. Otherwise, I will not see what Buddha say. Because making change. So you change the causes and you change the conditions and observe the change of the consequence. Through the practice of cause, condition, and consequence, this kind of changing process, and one day we will directly experience what's called impermanence. The impermanence is not directly through analysis, okay? It is through direct experience. But we have to observe first and practice by making a little bit change to see the change, the consequence, and change again and see the consequence, and then through this process to prove or to collect evidence of what the Buddha say. And the direct experience is not taught. You have to work on it. We have to work on by ourselves. We have to experience by ourselves. Even though I talk on and on for hours and hours, well, just provide some knowledge to you. And it is every one of us that need to make change. Okay, now, we have to reverse. Reverse are the 12 links. So I talk about the 12 link dependent arising. So from the name, it's connected together, and also it's dependent. So the formation depends on the ignorance. And the consciousness, the operation of consciousness depends on volition. And so far and so forth. So your craving depends on your feeling. If you have no feeling about something, you will never craving or dislike something, right? And your grasping depends on your craving. And your karma depends on your grasping. Okay? You're death because you were born and you will die. So how to reverse it? How to reverse this cycle? I'm a baby now. Can I reverse? Sperm and egg. No. The so-called reverse is stop this cycle. Why you can stop it? Because if there is no life and death, then there is no cyclic rebirth. But when there is no life and death, doesn't mean you cease to exist. Means you get out of the cyclic birth and death. And you see, we are scared of death, right? Why we scared? Why you scared?
Well, we don't know what happens after that.
Yeah, the most fear is that I don't know. Maybe I disappear after I die, or I don't know what happened. What would happen, to me? So they're scared of death. What if you know? Then you won't fear. It's just like, are you scared of dreaming?
No.
Yes?
Well, sometimes it could be scary.
Like you dream every day, and every time you woke up, the dream disappear. And were you scared that, I don't want to sleep because when I sleep, then I will have another dream, and then I will wake up from the dream, and again. Because it's a dream, right? So, now, 12 links. usually where to stop the links. We have two places to stop links. Okay, we cannot stop consciousness. We can still stop the feeders. And don't try to stop your contact and feeling. So I like to mention again and again that as a practitioner, don't try to avoid the things you like or you don't like, so that you make you feel that you are a practitioner. For example, I explained that, as a monastic, the precept that Buddha gave us as a monk is, we have to detach from the craving for the sensory enjoyment. And then so we have standard robe, we have like standard everything. But some people like to say, this is too much trouble here. I want to go to mountain and practice meditation. Nobody bother me, no phone call. I don't need to answer any line, WeChat or something, Instagram. I don't have to, so much I have to. Then I detach, go to the mountain. I live by myself. It will be nice, yes. But you avoid the contact. Once you contact again, you still same old you. So you avoid the contact, thinking that, I'm now in peace and quiet. I'm a very good practitioner because I have no vexation every day. That's because you have no interaction with any other people. You don't have issues to handle. But that's not. The real practitioner is things happen. I still do what I need to do, but I'm okay, I'm peace. Okay, so feeling, again, don't numb yourself. Like, this is good ice cream. When you eat it, like, I don't know what I'm eating. These are the same. The bad ice cream, the good ice cream, you think they are the same. You can still tell this is a good ice cream, bad ice cream, good coffee, bad coffee. But the problem is you don't attach to it. So there's a story. The typical story. Oops. Sometimes I will use the same trick. So 30 years ago, when the cherry is still very expensive in Taiwan, okay, so one day, one of the followers I think he's come and then just give our master like a small amount of cherry, okay. So our master take one and eat it, and then he said, delicious, good cherry. And the follower just like, oh. Second day, he bring the whole case of cherry. And then our master just like, come here. Take this back. I say it's delicious, but I didn't say I like it. Right? I know it's delicious, but I didn't tell you I like it. Why you bring the whole case here? Right? So you still eat the cherry contact, and you still have the feeling it's good taste, but you are not craving for it. And I want, cherry is so good. You bring 1 box, you bring 1 box. Tomorrow we have cherry festival, all kinds of cherry. He won't do that. So as a practitioner, you clearly know, you know this is a good stuff. You know this is moderate stuff, but you will not prefer this than the other. Whatever people offer, we eat it. And also, this is very good for practitioner. If, as a master like him, he showed that I like this, I like this, I like this, I guarantee our whole temple fill up with those stuff. Because the follower like to do the offering, and they will watch. We are not that good as our master. Sometimes we will show, oh, it's delicious, we know, but we will, oh. Then they know you like it. Then we are in trouble. Next time, like the bagel things. Sometimes our monastic from Taiwan, they first came to US, because bagel is so different from the bread we eat in Taiwan. And it's the first time they eat bagel, so good, and with cream cheese, good. And the next following day, we have bagels and bagels and bagels from different stores. In New York, we have so many good bagel bakery. And then people, our member would look for good bagels from all the stores, and bags of bagel. And we suddenly feel like, why we have so much bagel this week? And next time they found out that, ice cream. Then there's ice cream and ice cream and ice cream. So, as a practitioner, it's like, this is a good ice cream, and that's it. Okay. And life and death. Life and death. This is a big issue here. We have a so-called end of life chanting service in our temple because we believe that when people pass away, the first 8 hours are very important because our consciousness are in the stage of still think that we are living. So they try to stay in the body. Even though they come out and then try to get back. They come out and try to get back. They didn't know they died. Okay? And also if they come out, they cannot get back, they still stay around their body. So at that time, we would request in the hospital, 8 hours, not moving this body, the dead body, and we will chant Amitabha for the person. So the purpose is to chant Amitabha, calm that person's mind, and also we will give guidance and guide that person, how to behave during the 8 hours or following 49 days. And so you chant Amitabha. My first experience with the dead people is the first year I got ordained. Nobody taught us how to do this yet. How to go to the funeral, how to chant for the dead person. Because our training takes a couple years. The first time I was ordained, I went to teach in the city that I was my hometown. So we have a group of people, monastic teach in my hometown. And after the teaching, so my old friend, took me out for dinner. So during the dinner, she kept receiving a phone call. And so she wanted to be with me, too much to catch up. But the phone call rings so often, I said, go answer the phone. And then she answered the phone and found out that her grandmother is dying. She's a nurse. And she told me that she's scared. I said, you see dead people every day. Why are you scared? Your grandmother's dying. She's just scared. So I said, I go with you. Because they are not our member. So our service only go to our member in Taiwan because we have so many followers, and just like we can only provide service to our member. So they are not our members, so I can only go by myself. Then our Fashi, our monastic is very kind. They prepare things for me, like the cover, the yellow cover for the dead body, and the chanting machine, the incense, everything they prepare for me, and then I go by myself. Actually, I don't know how to do it. The only thing I know is chant Amitabha. So I went there, and my friends crying, everybody's crying, and I just say, okay. They are doing very special thing. I just say, don't touch the body. In 8 hours, don't touch the body, and I cover up the body with the sheet, specific sheet. But one mistake I made is I don't know how much to cover. I only cover to here. I thought it's a 往生被嘛，被子不是盖到这样。I only cover to here. I didn't know that I have covered to the head. So the head is exposed outside. So, but by this mistake, I was able to see the facial change through the chanting. Because I have to admit that I was a little bit scared too. Because you're facing the face of the dead people, and you're chanting. And you cannot avoid to have eye contact with that dead people. I just chant Amitabha, Amitabha. And then sometimes I'll give like a couple guidance, let go or something. And gradually, I did see, because her grandma is, what is that called? You have a breathing assistance. Oxygen.
Mesh.
So the mouth, when they take out the assistance, the mouth is in a very strange shape. Through chanting and chanting and chanting, the mouth closed. It's really close. I'm like, oh. I chant and I have wandering thought. Mouth is closing.
Good.
And chant, the mouth is smiling. The close and the mouth start to smile a little bit. And not just I found out that my friends and his family found out that, and so they asked people to come and check. Everybody come and see. The mouth is smiling. And so my friend stopped crying. And she feel like, Grandma is happy now, why should I cry? So that's my first experience for helping the dead people. So what I'm trying to say is, of course we cannot break the bondage, but death and dying for Tibetan tradition is a very important stage for them to liberate. In the bottle stage, they have 破瓦法怎么讲？破瓦法 They have a practice that the master that will guide the high practitioners through the bottle stage and then get liberation. Okay, but we are not in that tradition. But I would like to tell you that even though we cannot stop the circle by the death issue, but we can change. So it's very important that if you have a family member who is dying, you have to give them advice and give them some idea about what would happen after he died. And so be prepared and don't scare. And then give them some right view about life, appreciate them, thank them. And if they have something in mind that they are regretful, just repent. So helping a people to have a smooth dying process, and then guide them to reborn to a better place. And don't give them some conditions that they will give rise to strong emotion like angry, jealousy, or something. Okay, because that will be easily grab them to other realm. So it's very important for the dying and reborn process. Keep them in the good realm is very important. Okay, now craving and grasping is the focus for us to practice in daily life. And back to that, just a short reminder that when we found out that we specifically like or dislike something, don't take action just yet. Right now, well, I'm still learning. I won't directly tell people that I don't like banana. If it's in a party or something, I still don't take the banana, but I won't say I don't like it. Some people give me banana bread, I still eat it. Okay, but now it's like unless I really don't like it, otherwise I eat it. Okay, but I will not buy banana. Okay. I will not, like in a hotel or in people's house, take banana as a fruit. But if people offer me banana muffin or banana bread, I still eat it. Okay, so try to keep the extreme, neutralize. If there's some kind of people you don't like, it's not like that people bother you. It's like you observe that there are certain type of people you just cannot get along with very well. Then we have to watch and think why is that, and try to give them a chance. Give yourself a chance to get along with other people. Okay, so now let's face the reality, and I like to tell this story often, and also it's a reminder for me, because even though we talk about Buddha Dharma very often, we know the principle of everything, impermanence, emptiness, and all that, but unfortunately they are not our direct experience. When it's not our direct experience, it has less power. Okay, if you have the direct experience, your mind already has the power to handle things in a different way. But the problem is, it's only the knowledge. So sometimes I feel bad. Someone say, let go. It won't be permanent. Okay, you can let go for 1 day. Second day, things happen again. You get angry again. Okay, but easily we will, when we have scenario, when we have trauma, when we have issues in our life, likely we will tend to handle things, handle people, instead of handle our karma. So there is a story in New York. There is a very, very famous people in a Buddhist community called T.C. Shen. He founded the Zhuangyan Monastery in upstate New York. Very big temple. Zhuangyan Si, Shen Jiazhen.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think during his funeral, his daughter gave a remark on his father. And what she shared is that one day, when the daughter, bought her first house, and she was so exciting. And then she find people know about feng shui, to check the house, the orientation of everything, check that. Do you know feng shui? Okay. To check that the house is perfect, in the perfect condition. But the feng shui master told her that there is a door, need to change the orientation, and the rest is perfect. So she got very excited, and went to his father and say, I bought a house, and then I'm working on the door to have a perfect feng shui. And Mr. Shen just replied to her daughter, say, honey, I think you should work on your karma. Because I speak in the position of Mr. Shen. I say, honey, I think you should work on your karma. You know, many years ago, when your mom and I first bought our house in New Jersey, because T.C. Shen is a very famous shipping
Big shipping company.
tycoon,
Yeah,
shipping tycoon, very rich, very wealthy, and the Korea business is very big. So he definitely has a lot of friends, right? So all the friends come to my house. There is a very famous feng shui master. I don't know who that person is. He came to check our house, and he looked through it. And before he left, the feng shui master told me that your house is perfect, except there is a tree outside your master room. That tree needs to be removed. So your mom and I thanked and sent her out, and we did not do anything on the tree. But 6 months later, the tree fell down by itself. You know what it means? Yeah, maybe the tree, because there's a deity on that big tree, from feng shui point of view, it's not good. Okay, so it's next to the master room. But what I'm trying to point out is that we likely to change the environment for the benefit of ourselves. So that's why we always say, this is not good, this is not good. We want to change the environment for our own good. But the story is that if I am the person with merit, I stay there, they will move. The environment will change because of me. This is a different thinking. So we always have to remind ourselves, this environment is not good, we know. But how can we make this environment change because of our presence? Not because we need to change the environment or because someone need to change the environment or the situation for me. It's because my presence, things change. And I didn't do anything. That is very high levels of influence. Usually we talk about influence of people. It's because you have power, because you can talk, something. But for a real practitioner, is you stay there because of your virtuous power, things change. That's totally reverse the karma of the environment. And I just told you the environment is also part of a karma, right? So if a person with a really strong karma, good karma, the environment will change. So the reminder is, don't try to change the environment by asking other people to change or by asking someone to change for you. And ask, what is our contribution to them? And always change first. You cannot change your karma. How can you ask other people to change their karma? Right? And our karma is not changed, their karma is not changed. How could this environment change? the climate change, the social justice, the peace in the world, everything is the same thing. Okay, so don't worry, no worry about this world, but try very best. Everyone build up a good karma. This world couldn't go worse. If we all build up bad karma, then no matter what technology you have, you cannot save this world. That's from the Buddhist philosophy. Okay, overall, no matter what tradition, what religion, especially for Buddhist, different traditions, we might have different way to interpret Buddha Dharma, so that we develop a practice, different practice. Okay, based on the same Buddha Dharma, we develop different kinds of practice, the way to practice. But our goal is very simple. Just knowing that we have karma and we are trapped in the samsara, and this tied us up, and we cannot get free. We cannot get free. So through practice, get out of the attachment of our karma, get out of the attachment of the samsara, and we got liberation. So again, the 12. I hope that you can get. You can easily find the picture of the 12 things of dependent arising. You can find the one you like and print it out and put it on the wall, and you can see it every day. And every time you have issues, you have something in your mind, and then you can look at the circle, and then you find a way to reverse your karma. And there are many points that we can work on, like life and death. Of course, it's once, but you can help others in the craving, the grasping, and we have to be mindful when we have a contact, when we have a feeling. Be mindful about it, and watch how your physical and mental activity after that, and try to stop the bad deeds and try to accumulate good deeds. Okay, so I stop here. We have some time for Q&A.
Pastor, I think, can you repeat that yesterday you mentioned about when you do the bad karma, the best is not to hurt on other people. I think that concept is very 不要伤害别人。昨天有讲，我觉得想讲，我觉得那是很重要的。为什么？就做一个坏事情，好像你老板不喜欢那个面丢掉。
Oh, okay. I think I mentioned that before.
Yesterday.
Yeah. No, today. Okay. The causes and conditions of karma. Like the intention is very important. Okay, because that decides your causes. Yesterday I gave an example about, like if you are feeding a baby or a kid, they don't know, they only can show their emotion very directly. So when they have the food, they don't like it, or it's too hot, too cold, or it's bad or something. The way they don't want to drink it, or they just like throw it away on the ground, right? And same thing, if the boss asks the employee, go get lunch for me, and when they bring back the lunch box, and you eat it, it's too spicy, or too salty, or not the things I order, you do the same thing. Throw it on the floor. What kind of karma you think? Are they creators and karma?
Yes.
No.
The baby don't like the food. The bottle. And the boss, they don't like the food.
Different.
How different?
One knows better, one's ignorant.
One is a baby, one is adult.
One is
One is
baby,
adult, one is baby. Adult
one is adult. So adult,
Supposed to be mature, supposed to know better.
Because
what
the
to
baby is only for the food. He doesn't like the food. The baby is only for the food. But when an adult doing that, the adult is not only for the food, it's for the, dislike the people, dislike the person who brought it, because he showed that dramatic action there.
doesn't mean that they don't like the person. Just like I told you to order this food for me and it's not what I want, and destroy the food. So the point is about the relationships. The karma just like not you yourself. The karma also involves you and others. Okay. The baby throw the bottle, the food on the ground. The mother won't hate the baby, right? It's just like, come on, baby, this is good for you. Keep eating it. Drink it. And then throw it away. God, drink. And the mother won't hate this baby, and they won't get hurt, right? And the baby didn't know. Just like, I don't want the food. Why you keep feeding me this food? But the employee will get hurt, right? The boss. It's only lunchbox, and then you have such a bad temper. You just in front of all the people, you throw it and then scold at me. That person hurt. Depends. The person's hurt he might remember for her his whole life. Okay, just like teacher in school, when the teacher give us a bad time, sometimes the student lost confidence in themselves, right? But that's comeback. That's when your kid is a baby. How about when your kid grow up into teens? You feed them broccoli. Eat it. No? I don't want it. You have to eat vegetables. No, I don't want it. And end up throw it on the floor. What do you think, the karma? What does mother do?
Are they accepted?
Spend.
Spend? That's Chinese mother. What did you do? What will you do?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
Oh. That's a good question. I'm just thinking about what my mom would have did.
That's what your mom did to you? Eat it. This is vegetable. Broccoli, eat it. I have the same thing. I don't like
There's so much you don't
bitter melon, okay? Bitter melon. Bitter melon with the pork. Good stuff. I don't like it. So I just don't want to eat it. I remember I sit in the dining table and my father say, if you don't finish, you cannot get out.
Oh.
Sit there until you finish it. And I'll just sit. Okay. I sit until some visitor come and then run away. Because my father's friend came, he has no time. I run away. I don't want to eat it, right? But my father won't hate me, right? But how about when the kids grew up to college? You have to go to college. This is good for you. I don't want to go to college. You have to go to college. And how about someday he start to bring girlfriend or she start to bring boyfriend home. Like, I don't like this girl. I don't like this boy. She's not good for you. Well, not in America, not obvious, but for Chinese parents, they will pick and choose for their kids about what they are dating or what they marry with. You know, we have a member. One day, finally, his kids went to college. He was so exciting. And one day, his kids brought back a girl. They are dating. And she didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't, but he didn't like the girl. He told us privately, the girl is not good. But he still smiled in front of them. He didn't say anything. And a couple years later, one day he was so smiling, you know. And I just asked, what happened? Oh, my son came back, you know, graduated. I said, oh, so good. Are they getting married? He said, no, they break up. So happy. They break up. I'm like, oh. You know, and how about after they get married and they have children? And Chinese parents still try to intervene. And now it's getting worse. Before they get married, it's okay. You don't have them, and they don't hate you. After they get married, they have children. It happened a lot for Chinese family. You still try to intervene. You still try to make decisions for them. But then they are more focused on their family, especially the boy. They focus on their family with their wife. They don't go home that often. And things happen, and then usually the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law has a big issue between the relationship. Now, through, you know, the causes might be the same, that you love your son loves you, but the conditions are different now. The age, the married, everything changed. But you cannot use the same way to handle the things between you and your children. The love may be the same, because if you use the same way, you build up the very bad conditions to make these causes of love become hatred. And some children I know break up with their parents. Cut. Don't leave me alone. And some family issues happen. And sometimes, if the parents did not handle their money and property well, there's an issue for the siblings against each other because of the inheritance. That happened a lot in Chinese culture, because the kids will expect that parents will leave the money and house to them. In America, I found it more healthy, because this is my money, and the kids won't expect that the parents will leave all their money to them. And it's okay for the parents to donate all the money to the charity, right? Because they respect each other. But for the parents, no, it's not a story. So what I'm trying to say for the parents, it's very clear. The boss is always the bad guy, you know. You hurt, you say something really bad, you do something really bad, it's really hurting the employee. But same thing for the children, parents and children. If you didn't handle it correctly, when the kids are ignorant or nothing, they have no intention, just directly respond, that's okay. it won't hurt the love between you and the children. But when they grow up and when they have a family, condition change. Love may be the same, condition change. The same action is hurting your parents. And the enforcement hurting your children. And the karma also decided by the feeling and relationship between you and the other person that involved in this action. So we have to be careful about, this is because I'm a reasonable person as well. I said this, you've done this right, you do this wrong. So I have to point out you are wrong. But I say you are wrong to you and you are wrong to you in the public has different feedback. You might let go. Yeah, right. I like it this way. But these people probably say nothing, but he is hurting. And he will feel embarrassed and he will lose confidence in himself for a long period of time. And then you build up a very bad karma with that person. And the karma with that person is okay because he doesn't care. So we have to be careful and we have to observe who we are interacting with. And same compassion, but we have used different methods to interact with people. Okay.
Anybody have a question? Maybe we can give about 5 minutes Q&A.
One question.
What about if we don't like a certain person, and instead of seeing and dislike him, and you build up bad karma, but then how do you dissolve this?
Well, yesterday's same question was raised, and sometimes you have to see them every day.
Right.
So my method is to, I will when I see that person, I try not to have emotion, and I will I bless you, or I chant. You keep saying that I bless you, I bless you. And sometimes when I read the sutra or I chanting any ritual, I will transfer the mirror to them. So there is no need that you go to that person and say, I forgive you, or something. But you just in your mind just say, I bless you, I bless you.
Sometimes you give the gift or something, talk nicely to that person.
Well, sometimes it will have opposite effect.
Oh.
You try to be good, but the people, based on the situation of the relationship, if there is a certain condition, if you give them gifts or say good things, they will say you 你好假. You pretended to be a good person. Then that is the opposite. You will the person will be more defended.
Well, if you believe you bless that person, will make the effect.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a good mind to give that person something or kind of talk to that person very friendly, a lot of time you too have.
Yeah, that's also a very good way. But in a situation that you cannot break the relationship, improve the relationship, you can always over the time they will feel the sincerity, and also maybe at some time, birthday or something, leave a little gift on her desk or something is a good way as well. But at least you have to let go. But what I'm talking about is when you cannot let go yet, you dislike this person so much, that person has done something bad to you, and you cannot let go yet. And don't try to say something, but just tell yourself, I bless you, I bless you, I forgive you, I bless you.
Yeah. On one situation is sometimes two people freeze out, and then when you started doing some, kind of approach it, and you change your mind too. You know, you feel like, oh, that person is not that bad or something. So that happened. That is one situation.
Okay, we have 2 people.